Sauber. What are we saying, guys? It's a calm Wednesday evening. I don't know where you are, but where I am, it's chill. The sun's out, but it's chill. It's been baking hot the last two. Scorching. Unbearable. But beautiful at night when you get the fan on you. It's beautiful. Last night was a bit too much. It was just a tad too up. I woke up too many times last night. However, Chelsea. That's what we're here for. We've got to talk Chelsea. It's time. It's time. It's time. It looks like they are back. So to speak. They spent a lot of money. So it's only right that we now treat them how Arsenal and Man City get treated. It's only right. And the reason why I said those two, not Liverpool, because Liverpool get treated with kid gloves. You know what I mean? They really looked after, wrapped up in cotton wool, Liverpool. I don't know why, but they are. By the way, Liverpool, Diaz is looking to leave. I did not know Diaz was going to be 29 this year. Fog me. And he's never had an outstanding season. Jesus Christ. So Chelsea, let's see transfers. Players in. Sarr. Bish Bash Bosh fee 12 mil. Delap 29 mil. Bish Bash Bosh. Zugo 18 mil. Never heard of him from Sporting. Bish Bash Bosh. And Mugo 12 mil. Bish Bash Bosh. It costs a lot of money. Sancho doesn't count. Well, players out. Kepka, of course. Charlie boy, what are you saying? What have Chelsea done? Well, they've gone and bought João Pedro. They've got Delap. Who else have they got? Let me see. You know the rest. So João Pedro's arrived. Rest of Chelsea transfers. They spent 200 mil. Here we go. Oh, no, that's Chelsea top earners. Where we going? Chelsea. According to Opta, Chelsea has the best chance of winning the FIFA World Cup. According to Opta, that is. Let's screenshot that. Who else have they bought? I'm trying to look. There we go. Oh, everyone I said. Arrivals. Here we go. That's last season. Don't want to see last season. We want to see this season. So yeah, Pedro and Delap are the only new ones added to that. But so far, that totals to 179 million. So Pedro 64. This is euros. Pedro 63. Delap 35. Estavo 34. Esugio 22. Sarr 14. Paez 10. So far, they've spent 200 million buff. I mean, to be fair, so Man City spent roughly around that, haven't they? Charlie boy. All within the rules, can't be mad at, or I said all within the rules. Well, I mean, they did sell their women's team to get this over the line. While Guan JBRS, we're talking about Chelsea spending and that Chelsea should be now regarded with the Man Cities and the Arsenals for challenging. They should get treated with the same stick, the same brush. I just want fairness. It's only time. It's only right. They've had 3 seasons to settle that ship. Poch settled it in the second season. If he had stayed on, they would have challenged last season. But no, they decided to part ways and they went with Maresca, which means they had to take a B side rather than the A side. So they had to take a B side. So it's not too far from A, and they went down that route. And now they have to get used to that. And that was a season of bedding in. And he made Champions League football. So, yeah, the rest is history. Like a Chris, Chelsea need to win the league and Champions League with the money they've spent in the last 3-4 years. Well, you know what? I'll be pissed if they do both. because these are the realities, but they could actually do it. I'll be so angry if Chelsea won another Champions League before Arsenal win their first. Jesus Christ. And a league title, to be fair. Chelsea have not spent good. Well, the lap is good. Pedro is good, I'd say. I've never seen the rest. So I'd say those are upgrades, really. Well, maybe not so much Pedro, but it depends on what system they're going to play now. If they're going to deploy a system where they can have a 2-10 to 2 number 10s, what's that, a 3-5? 3-5-2? Whether it may be, and one drop deep, like Mamouche and Haaland, where he goes level with Haaland. Don't worry, Jordan, I've got you, baby. I got you. Kai, as we saying. No other team would get away with what they've done. This is crazy. They could have bought the 11 best players in the world if they so chose. João Pedro, to me, should be at an Everton replacement for Richarlison. So, boom, Sammy boy. That's harsh, Jordan. This ain't doing that lot. They ain't doing that lot. Their team is trash. For the amount of money they spent, well, yeah, you could look at Man United and say the same, but I hear what you're saying. We should be thankful for Chelsea. We always sign their ballers. No, thank you. We get all their crap. And if we get Noni, Madueke, what do you, man, make of that? I'm in two minds of that. Not true. If Man United had owners that cared about the club instead of using it as a cash machine. Yeah, I hear you, Charlie boy, but they spent a lot of money still. They still spent 2 billion and they still should have won the league title with that. It was, in fact, it's 2.6 billion, bro. So I don't know. Chris, they've spent 1 to 1.3 billion in one season, is it? No, you mean in 1 year, not one season. No one said anything when Man United got more COVID expenses than anyone else. Did they? I did not know that. Can you send me an article, please? Look at that crap. Imagine if you spent 1.1 billion. Well, we nearly are, Jordan. We're at 700. Can I have 2, please? I just want 2.
We heard that.
Yeah.
You're joking. Don't look so sad.
I think it's dry. Whew. Madueke is a baller. Him and Saka together will terrify fullbacks. Are you sure about that, JBRS? They spent the rest in January. What? When was this? No, they never spent 8 billion in one season, bro. Big man. The season. No, they did not spend 8 billion, bro. Havertz, Kepa, Noni for only 100 million. Bargain. Sammy, you're a nutter. Jordan, what season was this? And give me the list of the players and give me the no way, Jordan. I'm going to chat, Jordan. I feel like you're chatting breeze, bruv. That's impossible. Have Chelsea spent 1 billion in one season? So tell me no straight away from off the wrap. I can tell that no, Chelsea have not spent 1 billion in a single season, but they have spent 1 billion across 2 seasons since Todd Bowley's consortium took over the club in 2022. JBRS, your rep is going down slowly, bro. But I'm not going to hold you to this one. Chelsea spent around 600 million on transfers. Major signings include Enzo, Fofana, Mudryk, what's the name? Cucurella, Sterling, Koulibaly, didn't know he was there, and the rest was all that many signings. That was so yeah, totaling roughly over 1.1 billion spent. But to be clear, Chelsea have not spent 1 billion in one single season. They spent over 1 billion combined, my friend, JBRS. That's what it says here. Over from 2022 to 2024. Just letting you know, Jordan, we got Mount after. When the new owner came, they spent 600 mil. They spent, bro. Why am I a nutter? Noni and Havertz. Noni's a decent baller. Havertz is shy. Just sent you an article from The Athletic. Thank you, bro. It's a lie. Man saying ChatGTP is a lie. Bomba Clark. We should try to sign Jackson. You know what, Sammy? That might be the only time I might agree with you. Dare I use the cliche, there's a baller there. Dare I use it. But there is a baller in Jackson. But we need to see the finishing product. And his finishing at times is fucking atrocious. However, he does strike the ball better than Kai Havertz. However, I would be pissed if I had to spend 75 million, 85 million on Nicholas Jackson. No offense, bro, because I rate you, I like you. But at the moment, you're finishing for me, and it's rich because obviously I'm just a journalist. I'm just a journalist that wants to kick the ball every now and again. But you're finishing, bro, for elite level is if you could finish Jackson, you could be world class, broski. That's all that is stopping you from being world class is the finishing. And at this point, you're conscious of your misses. And I know that. And you've got to just shake that off. You just got to be a killer, bro, in front of goal. And then Real Madrid will come calling. Forget Arsenal, Real Madrid will come calling, bro. That's what I'm saying. Big man. In the one season, it was a bill. Well, okay, John, I'm going to take your word, JBRS, over chat. In January, they spent up to a bill, bro. It's impossible. You can't spend a bill in one season, bro. That's just impossible. It's just impossible. Sell Jesus since he's injury prone and bring Jackson for backup. I would sell Havertz in a heartbeat before I sell Jesus. And you can't sell Jesus because he's injured. In January, the total reached a bill, bro. Jesus Christ. I'm saying it, man. Saying it. Big man. Don't forget, some of those signings were over 8 years. That was allowed until the Prem changed the rules. Okay. Maybe Jordan, maybe chat hasn't taken it into perspective. Maybe I'm not sure. His first transfer of the summer, 600 mil. In January, he reached the kitty up to a bill. Jackson plays like Anelka and Drogba. He plays more like Drogba than Anelka because Anelka could finish and Drogba couldn't, not like Anelka anyway. Yes, he done the 8-year contract thing. Chris I'm not forgetting that, but if that's what you're adding into the total is the wages, then okay. Okay, then they spent $1 billion. But in one entire thing, it hit $1 billion. It wasn't straight hardcore billion on transfers. Havertz is always available. In what sense? In what sense is he always available? Not fit and ready to play, surely not. You can't be talking about that because he missed 4 months of football. Season just gone. And you can't mean on the pitch because he's shy. If we sign Noni and Jackson, we'll win the league. If we sign Noni and Jackson, what, and Glockeres? Is that and Glockeres? If it's without Glockeres, no. If it's with Glockeres, then I say, Samuel, we're cooking. Then I'm saying, Sammy boy, we're cooking. Big man. It's why most take the piss out of them. They done a bill in one entire season. Chris, where have you been? Bro, I just checked chat and chat said They have not spent a billy over that period. They spent a billy over 2 seasons. But I'm going to take your word because you're JBRS. I mean, you got your last thing wrong. And this one has an asterisk next to it. It's looking shaky. So you got to make the next one. The next one's got to slap. Next one has to slap. Man's made Ritz and Biggs dilute. I can't believe you owe Biggs money and you got out of it. Yes, Chris. Finally, I know. That's what I'm saying, Sammy. Finally, we're on the same page. Arteta forever. Listen, and this is all make-believe, Sammy. So I don't even know what's going on here. This is make-believe because we're never going to buy Noni and Jackson and Gyökeres. So me and you are on a dream thing right now. You sucked me in, bro. Man doubts the thing. Hey, Jordan, listen. When I doubted you, I was wrong. When I let that doubt go, that doubt down, and I said, you know what, put that guard of that doubt down. Put the guard down. So I put the doubt down. And you know what, Jordan? When I let that guard go, you started to get things wrong. And then my gut was telling me, my gut told me he was wrong. But I vouched because I said, you know what, JBRS has been spot on. And every time I've doubted, he's been right. And that has taught me a valuable lesson. Always doubt. Always ask questions. Always. It will help your comrade as well as helping yourself out. But that's just food for thought, Jordan. Rodrigo, Rafael Leao, and Osherman is what we need to win. Well, for me, Mr. Green, a humble man once said a wise man once said football is a true motherfucking humbler. And that's facts. They spent a bill. What did he say? By this alone is 40-50. What's Badishia, bro? They spend on them French guys. Oh my god, 80 mil for 4 fan. I've said this. I went through the list already. And their price tag was next to it. We keep talking about what they spent. Does anyone know what they've made over the past 2? What in players? No. What have they made? Sakado, 115 million. Buff. Eze, Rodrigo, and Osherman would be beautiful. But these things are just dream scenarios, Jay. Rich News was out ages ago. Listen, Jordan. Let's not go down that route. Let's leave that in the past. And I will try not to bring it up every so often. What do you think? That's what we're asking, Javier. What do you think of Noni Madueke? I'm not sure. I'm in two minds. You know what? You know why I'm in two minds? Because we need somebody. We need 2 players that are going to come into that starting 11 this year. Maybe 3. And I don't think Noni's going to get into the starting unless he has a fogging blinder on the left. But I read somewhere he doesn't want to play on the left, apparently. But if it's to be back up to Saka, I'm all for that. That's fantastic. At 65 million buff, it's steep. It's fogging steep. But if he can really challenge Martinelli and he could really link up with Eze and them, man, then you know what? Okay. Didn't Chelsea make 300 mil selling the women? That was also in this conversation earlier on, Charlie Boy, that Arsenal need to follow suit like Aston Villa. And Aston Villa followed Chelsea. So selling the women's team, apparently. But listen to this. Aston Villa sold their women's team and they only got 50 million buff for it. Chelsea went and sold their women's team and got, obviously their women's team is more lucrative. They got 300 million buff for it. So it's like, oh, what? So Arsenal should do this because we'll get 150 to 300 million, maybe more. Because our women's team's fantastic. Look at me now asking for the women's team to help out the men's team after I said, nah, I don't want to see the celebrations of the women's winning Champions League or whatever it was while the men are just doing pants. Look at me now. Disgusting. But it's worth a try. Because that's the way football's going now. That's the way it's going. And that's crazy. It's crazy that's even allowed, because the women even get money from that. This is where the lines start getting blurred, and this is where it's like, come on now, we're taking the P if that affects the women's game, because really that money should be filtered back in. Are we going to filter any money back into the women's game? And that's why it will never get to where it needs to get to if things like that are happening to benefit the men's game. All this PRS rubbish, just get rid of the thing and just let man spend what they've got. And if they get into debt, that's on them. And if they go into administration, that's on them. That's on them. Now we're exploiting the women's team, but these times, guys, oh man. 50, only got 50 million to Chelsea's 300 is actually that's ludicrous. The new owners was going for Mandem FC. It's crazy. It's like on some Mandingo team. Trust the process. Cyril, no, bro, no. We are 7 fucking seasons into this process. I'm done with Arteta. I'm actually done. I'm so done. I ain't got a good word to say right now. I'm done. Chelsea are running on 150 million loss per year, but owners don't care. Similar to United. Is okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I said he wasn't going, but he did. Arsenal, smelly, skelly, skink man. He went because you got it wrong. Hans, my boy, we need to bin Forgan, Havertz, get Isak in and Watkins. Nah. None of them things are happening, but I would love to see those all happen. From Papa Chelsea to white ends, what a change. Chelsea thought they were sick. Now look at them. Arsenal is a club losing fans. Interesting comments. Would you take who? Shanez Beezy, never heard of him. Between Havertz, Jorginho and Kepa, Arsenal have contributed 82 million to help balance Chelsea's books. That's why they are able to splurge. And that's why Natty Dread. Arteta is clueless and has Forgan blood on his hands. Usually, and you know what? Like, just buying Havertz alone. Like, come on, man. And the irony is, I used to say, I can't wait for Xhaka to leave. Like, you can't get worse than Xhaka. Lo and behold, Arteta somehow, some way said, hold my beer. I've got this. And brought in Kai Havertz, who's physically inept. Physically made of sticks and stones. And his techers is rubbish. He ain't got eye for a pass. He can't shoot. You know when I knew it was really curtains? When they went to America and they had to do that challenge. And I saw him do I was hoping he was going to surprise me. When I saw that challenge and he got like the lowest score ever, I was like, nah, we're fogged. We're fogged. When a man can't do exhibition, you know. And we help fund that Chelsea. Chelsea have shown themselves to be a disgracia. They've always been a disgracia, bruv. Chelsea, when they spent big, you can say they won stuff, yeah, but they still cheated back then. But the rules weren't around, and everyone was cussing Wenger because it was popular to cuss Wenger because Wenger called it financial doping. Fast forward 15, 20 years, Man City do an even better job of what Chelsea did because there was a blueprint for them to follow. And well, everyone's all over Man City like flies on doodle. That's all I can say. Why not go get Sancho and Rashford for 55 million both? Well, Jay, I don't think that's attractive, bro. I don't think that's money well spent. This one spent mad money and have not won anything. They just won the Conference League, broski. Come on, man. Have some perspective. Even their last CL win was under Roman. They haven't been the CL since, have they? Women's team hype is wrestling. No. The women's team's not hype. Women's football's not hype. But I'm just saying about we can't be celebrating like the men's team is the flagship. But the fans, the men fans, can't be now using that as a crutch for the men's failures. And that's what he was doing. So it's not hype because it's at its very early stages of its development. If this is like men's football, if you was around in 92 and you was watching it, you'd be like, "Cool." If you could see 92 football now, you'd be like, "Cool, blimey, what is that? What is that?" But you know what I mean? That's what it was. Same with the women's team. It just needs to develop. And every woman that plays now is laying a brick as a foundation to eventually there's going to be more money in the game. There's going to be super development in the game. There's going to be players of a certain caliber. So those that are in there now won't be able to make it in 10, 15 years' time because the level it's just risen so much. It'll just get to a caliber where this is the standard now. And the game will be faster. Goalkeepers will be better. That's just how it is. Money will be flowing. Women can have this now as a full-time job but live lavish because everyone's getting 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 racks a week. Mashallah, bro. Oh, Sancho, I thought it was. I would take Sancho. Hans, bro, he's the worst man. So he's crap, man. That's what he is. He's cumbersome. He's clunky. And it's like, I get what Arteta, and you know what makes it worse? I get what Arteta was trying to do. I see what he was trying to do with the vision. But when you're a novice or when you're cutting your teeth, you ain't got the luxury to, or you ain't got the luxury or the credibility to say, watch this. You got to earn that. And he ain't earned that. And he just started inventing the wheel, trying to outsmart Pep when all we had to do, if you pray, all you had to do was, in that the year after we first challenged, and I can't believe we're even talking about this now, but all we had to do was replace Xhaka and get in the timber, get in the replacement for Zinchenko, but not freeze Zinchenko out of the team like you did, and buy a striker. That's all you had to do that year. So replace Xhaka, and then you know what? Get in the real striker along with Jesus, but getting someone that's going to be fit because we've already seen Jesus' record at that point. Missed what, 8 months of the season? Come on, bro. Come on, he's broken. So go and get in a striker. Then you could go and buy your Havertz in your January or next season because that's a vanity player. Like, that's a guy you want to bring off the bench and experiment with. Don't do the experiment when you're in a hunt for the title. Like, all you had to do was make 2 changes. Instead, you made 1 change that erupted. In fact, you made more than 1 change that erupted a lot of things. Like, you went and replaced Ramsdale and it was all mad. It was on loan, and then you're talking crap and all this wass saying, I dream about making a substitute with the goalkeepers at halftime. Like, you're ruck, bruvs. What, you think we're that fickle? I've never heard anything so absurd in a game of football before, like from a manager. What nonsense? Sometimes I dream of making a substitute with the goalkeepers at half time. Like, what are you saying? That's not managerial. That's not elite level managerial talk. You sound fickle. You either think we're fickle or you think you're some mad hatter. I don't know what it is. You're flexing. I don't know what it is, but it was dumb. And if you think that's your psychology in crash course tactics and how to let a man down, these nuts. That's all I'm saying to that. Man bought in Raya and bought in Havertz. And who else did he buy that year? What else was the catastrophe? Even Timber was a catastrophe that year because he got injured first fucking game. Out for 8 months. That the whole thing was a catastrophe. And then to top it off, you had a second bite of the cherry to rectify that. And instead of rectifying it, you go and buy a next left back when all you had to do was play Timber left back. Keep Ben White right back. But no, you go and buy Calafiori, who's made of glass as well. You go and buy Marino in midfield, who's not up for the game in the English game. And I should have realised that. When the alarm bell started ringing, because they weren't ringing at first because I didn't even know he played for Newcastle. My brain was too busy on the Euros and watching him in the Euros playing with a free-flowing, swashbuckling team. And I'm seeing this dude pop up in pockets, looking at Busquets 2.0, 3.0. I'm getting gassed. And then I see some clips of him at Newcastle. I was praying it was when he was younger. It was when he was younger, but I was just praying that he'd shaken that off. Well, for maybe he ain't shaking none of that off because the pace is even quicker. Shit. Up front, though, marvellous. Marvellous. People forget Havertz was a top goal scorer a lot. Bruvs, when Nicholas, he was top goal scorer with 9 goals. And stop saying people forget. Bro, he is our striker. I expect him to be top goal scorer. If there was 2 more games, Marino would have scored more. Marino left with 7, bruv. My man had 9. Haaland had 22. Haaland had 23 and missed 4 less games than Havertz. Jesus Christ, man. What are we saying? Conference League, Chris, are you tapped? Jordan, Conference League is better than nothing, innit? You diss Spurs for... Listen, Spurs weren't in the conference. They were in the Europa, and I dissed them for what they did. The Conference League was worse. I'm hearing Madueke links are legit. It's legit, bro. It's legit. If we get the headband guy, I'm clocking out early next season. Nah, it's legit. It's all legit. It's kosher. It's all kosher. A man said they did win the Conference League, you know. I hope you get Madueke for them comments there. Chris is gaslighting us. Didn't the Switzerland national team lose 7-0 on some random underfit? What do you mean gaslighting you with what? And what? How did we get to Switzerland, bro? What did I say? Women's football. Are you talking the women's football team? Nah, bro. No. It's developing. You have to understand that it's developing. You can't even. You can make the jokes, but it's developing at the end of the day, bro. It's developing. And you got to remember, San Marino and the men's team be losing 8-1, 8-2. Women's football will never be able to sustain itself without the men's game carrying it. Well, yeah, so I guess to some extent, because the men have kind of, it's a gatekeeping thing. We've kind of cornered their market, so I guess. And everything is a man's world. Business is a man's world. Yeah, we got men managing women's teams. Do you know how mad that is? Do you know how dumb that is? To maybe not dumb, because maybe they should be in the game to help develop the game. But do you know, we ain't got no women in the it's not vice versa. It's not a two-way street. That I don't even understand. But maybe there should be a few men in the game to help get the infrastructures running. Maybe not so much the tactics and stuff, because at the end of the day, that's all down to your brain. And the brain's the same. Physicality, we're all different. But when it comes to the brain, everyone's got enough capacity in there to figure things out. And if a woman's got some tactic in her head that trumps the man, then it's a game of chess. And chess is not about physicality. And so gender has no play in that kind of sport, and it has no play in management. The only play it has is psychological. That's about it, I'd say. But the game's developing, bro. Chelsea have finished beneath us for the last 3 seasons. But yeah, we keep signing players. This is you know what, Nathan? This is very good. That they don't want while they are trying to get top 4. And we're supposedly competing for major fogging honours. Well, I can only blame the manager, bro, because the manager keeps on saying he's falling in love with XYZ. And these players all seem to be Chelsea players. Arteta was done when he passed on Isak. Oh, listen, when he passed on Isak, again, a blind man could see. I don't think that was that the year. Was that the year that Arsenal bought Havertz? Was when Isak went to Newcastle? It was, wasn't it? So yeah, you know what? Like buying Havertz instead of Isak is a fogging crime. I want to swear. I really want to swear. That really boils my blood. That makes me so angry. How thick? How much of a thicko do you need to be to not even see that? And then you want to have the cheek, or the fans want to have the cheek and say they want Isak now, bruv. That fella stock has tripled, maybe quadrupled in that time. He is now worth 120, 130, 140, 150. Imagine Isak at Arsenal. We're winning something. The man is a sharpshooter. Pure and simple, with ability. with Odegaard, the man that he's grown up with. Do you know? It's a mad thing. And that's what makes it even madder that he chose Havertz, thinking that we was going to do some hybrid thing, and that all the goals were going to be spread around the whole pitch and yada yada yada. And what bollocks! This is AFC, man. Like, Wenger did not put all these blood, sweat, and tears to see Everton style of football being played. And to see some hybrid that's not even good at anything apart from Jules. They tell me Jules. I've never heard Jules as a metric to gauge if a striker was doing sick. I've never heard that in my life. In all my years of football, that's not a stat or a metric that I run to. Or even like when I see Jules for defense. That comes with the defensive stats. I don't see my striker top of Jules. And 19th for goals. Like, what is going on? And Arsenal fans are using that metric and saying, well, he won 4.5 Jules today, and it was only 2 Jules. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, shut up, man. It's all pure and simple. Cut the crap. Say what you see. Do you know what I mean? Not all this rubbish. It's time for Berta to striker. It's a must. It's happening, bro. It's happening. No way it's happening now. Next call-in show, we all need to... All right, we'll do one. Yeah, you watch. We need to talk. No arguments. Chris, LOL. Didn't want Havertz, LOL, but he's here, LOL. But we definitely need Gyökeres. Exactly, Nick. Exactly. But I've been telling you Havertz is shite. To be honest, Sociedad were playing hardball. So playing hardball, but he went to Newcastle, bro. Isak was always using Newcastle as a stepping stone. He could have used Arsenal as a step. Didn't need to use a stepping stone. Could have been a match made in heaven. Sociedad went in more than 50, 60 at the time. Bruv, pay it. Havertz cost more than Isak. And on that note, I'm off ski, man. Them, I love you and leave you because this is meant to be about Chelsea. And I mean, at least a quarter of it was. And then you man drew me in on the Arsenal thing, getting me all irate. When I'm not even an Arsenal, I'm a journalist this season. So, yeah, let's not get over ahead of ourselves, all right? Guys, I'm you not off ski. Who the fuck is using... Listen, bro, I've got top gooners in the WhatsApp group using Jules as a metric. Listen, man, it's worse than Liverpool when they start telling me Firmino's not a striker and he's... Or like when Heskey was, oh yeah, he's not the striker, like he's the link up man and everything there. Like, shut up, bro. Shut up. Sociedad were bumping Arsenal at the time. I'm not hearing it, Jordan, because it couldn't be a bump. They knew their worth of their player, of the valuation. So if they valued him at 80 million because they saw his potential, that's still cheap, bro. That's still cheap. Have it in mind, we spent 100 million and 5 buff. 105 million buff on Declan Rice. Have it in mind. So we know we can pull the trigger when need be. And a striker is the crowning jewel to any crown and to any football team. That's just how it's always been for decades. And this is Arsenal FC, especially a club of... it's like Liverpool without a top striker. Arsenal without a gunman. Man United, like these three are staples in football, and it's mad. Only one's got a gunman right now, and even then, I wouldn't even call him a gunman. I call him a bow and arrow. Salah. Why he ended up leaving, but they sold him for less to Newcastle. Chris, Jordan, love. I've got to fact check you now, Jordan. That's where our relationship's at.